Welcome guys, you alright? How's everyone doing? Got a few bits lined up today. I've planned again, wrote myself a little list. Lots to talk about after the week I've had. It's been great. Let's just get a few housekeeping stuff sorted before we get going. Amir, you okay? Can you just remind me how to say your name again? Hi Joe, you right? I think you said it's something like Emma. I think you said Emma. Is it pronounced Emma? Can I just call you Emma? Would that make it easier? Sorry. Hi, is it Iron? Iron Ooze? Do you remember Iron Ooze from Power Rangers? I'm sorry I butchered your name, mate. I'm not very good with names that aren't English, I suppose. Oh, it's Ivan Ooze, isn't it? Ivan Ooze. Anyone remember this guy? Silly, I know, sorry. Silliness. Eric, that's much easier, thank you. Oh, it's your daughter's name, Ema, sorry. You're Keith, of course you are, sorry. You said this to me last time, I'm so sorry. You don't have to change it on my account. Hey Ben, you're right. Bought a new pressure washer, 15 litres per minute. Do I need a return tank or will it be okay? Don't want to ruin the pump. What do you mean by a return tank? Do you mean a buffer tank? Or like a return feed from the pump to a tank? I suppose it's the same thing really, isn't it? So by ruin the pump, what I suppose you're asking is well, it's pretty much what I did to my pressure washer a couple of weeks ago. So if you haven't already, watch. Essentially, you're going to struggle to get 15 litres per minute from most customers' taps. So you probably will want some sort of buffer tank. I've got a video on it just here. DIY pressure washer buffer tank. If you starve your, if you're trying to put your pressure washer on full whack, and you're starving it of water because you're not getting enough from the tap, it's obviously going to have a negative impact. I don't know how big that negative impact is, but it's not going to be that good. With regards to the return feed to the buffer tank, that cycle just sort of helps with cooling the pump. Because mine didn't have a return. So if you look at this video here, repairs and upgrades, I'll link it in the chat if I can. Sign into chat. Why does it make me do this every time? So it creates like having a return feed from your pump back into your tank means every time you come off the trigger, it creates like a loop where the pump will still flow, and it'll continuously push that water around, so it'll keep your pump cooler than if you didn't have that return. Wagwan Abadron, you're right. Mr. Moo, you okay? How's everyone going? So the music's back purely because it didn't make a difference on the last stream anyway with regards to the with regards to the earnings. I think the last stream earned around 67 pence. So I thought, would I rather have 67p or would I rather play music on the stream? I think I'd rather play music. It helps me get in the zone, I think. It's why I think I dipped towards the end of last stream. I started to get a little bit tired, I think, so apologies for that. It's so hot in here. Is anyone else boiling? We've got a few things to talk about this week. I've been saving it all up for you. First, shall we review the progress? Not necessarily the progress. Should we review the jobs that I've done this week so that you guys can catch up a little bit? By the way, we didn't get that quote accepted last week. So that quote that we did together, which was this one with the weird concrete blocks, and then this driveway. I think it was just, I don't think she was expecting that sort of price. But I suppose when you're having it sanded and sealed afterwards as well, it's, you know, all good anyway. It's about half an hour away from my home, so I'm not too worried about that one. And she said she'll definitely be contacting me in the future anyway, so all good. I've got an interesting proposition from someone who messaged me earlier about commercially cleaning some bins, but I don't think it's something I can do, but we'll have a look at that together. Mr. Fast Jet, you alright, mate? I'm new to this and don't want to ruin my investment. It's a very good mindset. Of course, you need to keep your equipment. Maya's trying to creep in. True Flow, you're right. How you doing? So my X-Jet, for anyone who's wondering, is absolutely wonderful. Proper game changer. Here I am, look. I've got a workflow now where I've totally streamlined everything. So with the concrete blocks like these, and like the ones I did this morning, because I know these easily etch, I want to use as little pressure as possible on these blocks, on these slabs. And so my flow now is to just, and it's so quick and simple to just grab my barrel of hypo with the surfactant already mixed in there, just twist the X-Jet onto the barrel, and because I've only got the one hose coming from the van. That's the other benefit of having like a van mounted system, is I'm not bringing anything else out of the van other than the hose and the lance and like the surface cleaner and stuff. So I'm bringing that out, foaming everything up. So with the concrete, I'm pre-treating and I'm post-treating to avoid as many streaks as possible. My goal is to get rid of the black spots, but not use too much pressure where it's going to leave streaks. So pre-treat with hypo, let that dwell for like a good 20-30 minutes, and then I'll go in with the surface cleaner and then turbo nozzle around the outside. These ones at the bottom didn't come up very well, and I knew they wouldn't compared to everything else. But I'm really getting the foam on the X-Jet now. And the way I figured it out was I turned the revs on the machine way down, and it foams up beautifully now. Didn't mess with the unloader valve or anything like that. The way I adjust the pressure is just literally just turn the revs down. I don't know if that's good or not. I should have asked the guys at Pressure Washer Sales and Service whether that's like a good way to do it. The other thing I need, I've just thought of this, I could do with a pressure gauge on the outlet of my pump, so I know exactly how much pressure I'm using. So I can sort of design it for each surface. I can create like a workflow for each surface and use a specific pressure.
No, Daddy.
Oh, no, girly.
Look, Daddy.
You got your teddies?
Yeah.
Can I have a cuddle?
Yeah.
Oh. Love you.
With you.
What are you looking at? You're looking at you over there.
Yeah.
Say hi, Maya.
Hi.
Do you have a nice bath?
Yeah.
Good. I'll see you in the morning.
See you morning.
Playgroup tomorrow?
Yeah.
Should we take the new toys to playgroup? Do you think they'll like them?
Yeah.
She's got blood in her nose.
You've been picking.
Good night, girl. See you in a bit. See you in a bit. It's so hot. What did the quote end up last week for that one? So for the drive to be pressure washed, sanded, sealed, and then for the rear patio to be washed as well, we quoted 440. 140 for the 30 square meter drive wash, 35 to resand, 25 litres of sealer, which came in at 100 quid, sealer application 85 quid, rear patio chemical wash £100. She got back to me after having a word with her chap, and she said thanks so much for giving us a quote. We've had a think and it's not something we're going to go ahead with. I'm really sorry, really appreciate you getting back to me. 100% will be in touch if things change. It's just something we would have to save up for. She says they clearly gave us some crappy slabs, because there was an issue with those slabs. Considering they're only like, I feel like I've got a fly in my ear. Considering they're only like 3 years old, I think she said, they should not be doing this. And I also saw something on Facebook the other day where someone had done 2 new build cleans with exactly the same issue on the slabs, and someone said they'd potentially been laid upside down as well. So I wonder if that's the problem. Batman, you're right. I up shag. Evening, Charlie. Luke, you're right. How'd you come up with £4 per square metre, mate? Will you increase it over time? So that's for block paving. That's not for patios and stuff. So patios £3.5 per square metre. Block paving £4 per square metre. Just because there's way more mess to tidy up, and you need an extra trip to go back and resand, and it's just a lot more effort than. But then again with slabs, you've got to account for the amount of chemicals you're going to use, because you'll often use. Saying that, actually, I think from now on I'm always going to use hypo on block paving, just because I've revisited some of my old jobs, or I've driven past and stuff, and I've noticed there are weeds coming through quite quickly on the ones that I haven't used hypo on the block paving, even though I've pressure washed the block paving, resanded it, and you start to see the weeds sprouting up quite quickly. And I feel like with the ones I'm using hypo on, that's not happening, and it's clearly because the hypo's killing the weeds and stuff, killing the roots. So now for block paving, it's going to be pressure wash, hypo, rinse, and then go back and resand. And with block paving, you've also got the cleanup time, because it's you get a lot more moss and sand and stuff that comes out from between the joints. So you should always consider that time when you're quoting which direction is all that sludge going to go, and how easy is it going to be to clean up, and do you have adequate drainage and stuff. Emmanuel, welcome. Thanks everyone for popping in. That was very quickly. We've got a lot of people in here, so that's nice to see. Eric says, I wrote to you today about the unloader valve. Did you install it on your Kian washer? I did. We were just talking about it actually, I think. So in this video, this one here, you can see that I had an issue with the little spring inside. I don't know if for some of you guys, you've already heard me talk about this, but the spring inside keeps disintegrating. And so instead of that, so this is the old unloader valve. And there's the little shuttle, it's called a shuttle and spring. So this little part here, just the part I'm touching with my finger, so that bit there. And then the little spring inside there. 25 quid to replace that spring. And that's the bit that keeps breaking. And it breaks my turbo nozzles because it gets jammed into the turbo nozzles. I even took them apart and tried to pick all the little bits of metal out, but they were lodged in there. I couldn't do it. And they even said to me, like, the turbo nozzles are easy to disassemble, you can just remove it yourself. And I said, I can't. They wouldn't have it. And it blocked up my jets in the surface cleaner. So in the end, the sales and service guys in Evesham have fitted this new unloader valve. It's like a sideways one with a filter on the filter here. Look on the back, that green bit down there. You can't quite see it, but that doesn't have that little shuttle spring. It's a slightly different design. I don't actually know how it works, but. And then also the other benefit of this is that it's got a return to tank. This yellow hose at the top is a return feed to the tank, so it's going to constantly cycle that water when I'm off the trigger. Before, if I came off the trigger, I don't know what was happening with the water, but it wasn't really going anywhere, and so the pump could potentially, if you're running it for a long time off the trigger, the pump could potentially overheat. It's just probably not good for it, really. In terms of your prices, is that a general amount around your area? Yeah, so, well, it's difficult to say because I don't really talk to many other people around my area that do pressure washing. I could get in contact with a few people, really, because I know a few. I actually spoke to Squeaky Clean Dave on the phone last week, and we discussed pricing, and he was around about the same as me. I don't want to talk about his pricing without his permission, but we were very similar. But it's very much based on area. If you go to, you know, central London, they could be charging as much as £7 per square metre, and then if you go up to like Scotland and stuff, it could be as low as £2 per square metre, maybe less. So, but don't necessarily worry too much about what everyone else is doing. Once you've got a bit of experience behind you, look at the value that you offer and the quality of work that you can achieve. Once you've started looking at chemical application and how quick you can do the jobs, things like washing windows down, washing the bins down afterwards, being polite and having good rapport with your customers and stuff, all that builds to what sort of price you can charge. And I think if you've got a full package, if you're able to offer that customer the full package and none of those elements are missing, then I think you can charge whatever you like, really, and you don't need to worry about what everyone else is doing. When you get to the point where too many of your quotes are being rejected, that might be the point where you turn the price down a little bit. But it has nothing to do with what the rest of the industry is doing. All I'd say is don't drive the price too low, because you might be happy earning a lower wage than everyone else in the industry if it gets you more work, but it's going to drive the price of the industry down, and that's the last thing we want to be doing. If anything, we want to be pushing that price up with things like inflation and stuff. The last thing you want to do is bring the whole industry down just because you want sort of quick cash. You know what I mean? Do you enjoy the job still? I do. I mean, I've only been going 2 years, but I'm sort of trying to get myself in like a headspace where each job, rather than thinking about how quickly I can get it done, or oh, this one's going to be a nightmare to do this and this, things like moving pots and stuff, rather than worrying about it, I'm just allowing myself enough time where I don't have to worry, and so I'm relaxed. It sounds weird going into, but going into like a work environment where you're relaxed, you're not rushing, there's no pressure to get things done quickly, and you're just taking in the experience. Rather, it sounds cringy because it's just work, but allowing yourself to just be in the moment and stop thinking about 10 minutes ahead, an hour later, 2 hours later. Stop thinking about the future and just like allow yourself to be in the moment and just enjoy your work and just enjoy doing a really good job, going the extra mile, doing those extra little details. As soon as you start filling your calendar up and you're rushing everywhere, you're rushing from job to job, or you're underpricing yourself, and so you want to go faster to make sure the time spent is equal to the money charged. If you price well, like for me today, so let's just look at this job this morning. I'm going to tell you exactly how much I charged for this job. So this was a path going down the side of the house, another small path going in front of the conservatory, little patio, and then a second little, well, some small steps, this is nothing, and then a second little patio here. They said don't worry about the steps going down there. I charged £185 for this, and I went round and quoted it in person because I was doing a job over the road for someone. She called me over and said, can you come and quote this for me? They're an old couple. I actually had a weird experience on this one. When I was quoting it, the lady was feeling particularly ill, and she's going through chemo at the minute, and she fell, and I caught her, and she just sort of, you could see she was going a bit dizzy and a bit floaty, and then she literally fell, grabbed hold of her, and I put her down into like a chair. It was just dead weight. Like, you don't know how heavy people are until they're not even trying to like hold themselves up. It's crazy. So that was like scary, but I've dealt with that before because I used to work for Lifeline and stuff. So I've had old ladies, multiple old ladies fall over. Like, it's weird. Multiple old ladies fall over in front of me while I've been visiting their property. It's like a curse or something. It's weird. The one lady had a seizure while I was there. That was scary. And then I lifted her up and tried to get her into a more comfortable chair in the living room, and she was telling me, like, let me walk, I can walk, I'm okay. And so I said, well, can you just link my arm then, and then we'll walk together? So she did, and she did it again. She fell again, and I just about managed to catch her again, and she did this 7 times on the way to the living room. She literally lost her balance and went dizzy, total dead weight, and almost dropped to the ground 7 times from the conservatory back to the living room. I said to her husband, like, you need to call an ambulance because she's clearly not well, and she's convinced that she's okay to walk around the house. She's going to fall and she's going to hit her head. So that was scary, but she seemed a lot better today. So I quoted them 185 for this, and that was before I got the X-Jet. So I was considering, like, how long is this going to take me, cost of chemicals, like this is going to be 2 applications of chemicals, there's a bunch of pots and stuff to move, so I thought 185 was reasonable. And then when I went back today, I had my X-Jet, and I arrived at like 8:30. Got everything set up, had a good chat with her in the morning. I think I turned my machine on at 9 o'clock. And I was packed up and heading off by 10:05. So this literally took me, realistically, it took me an hour. Which just feels so good now that I can get in there, pre-treat with the X-Jet, surface cleaner, turbo nozzle around the outside, post-treat with the X-Jet, rinse everything off, rinse down the windows, put all the pots back, and I'm out within an hour. 100, and she tipped me as well, so she gave me 200 quid because she said I did such a good job and I was so helpful. So she clearly sees the value, and it sounds like, Jesus Christ, like 200 quid. You're getting paid £200 an hour. That's insane. It's not quite that, because you've got to take off the tax, you've got to take off the fuel, the chemicals and all that sort of stuff. But if I wanted to, I could have booked in 3 more jobs today, but I didn't. Instead, I thought, I've got some video editing to do. I was doing some research for some new boots and stuff. And we'd had a big party on the weekend, so I wanted to come back and sort of clear up and walk the dog, because I hadn't had a chance to walk the dog in the morning. So, but if I'd have booked more stuff in for the rest of the day, I could potentially have rushed this job, missed something. She wouldn't have tipped me. She might not have recommended me to the next person. And it's like, I'm comfortable with that sort of money for today. That's fine by me. Because I've got some bigger jobs coming up later in the week. But like, don't try and ram your calendar full, and people are happy to wait. I was in the mindset that, like, when I first started this business, like I need to get them in tomorrow. I need to get them in before the end of the week, because you know, they really want it done, and they might go with someone else if I don't get it done for them. That's not the case at all. I've got people booked in for like up to 4 weeks at the minute, and you give them a date and there's no pushback. There's a couple that will say, oh, I've got this coming up, I've got an event, can you get me in any sooner? You can try and move stuff around and stuff, but you know, just what I'm trying to say is, don't focus so much on the money. Focus more on just doing a good job and treating every job as like, if I can just do one job a day, that's all I have to focus on for that day. I don't have to worry about anything else. I don't have to worry about getting to the next one. Don't have to worry about filling up my fuel tank again. If I can just do one job a day and I'm earning enough money for that day, then I'm kind of chilling, and I know I'm going to do a good job on that one job. You know what I mean? I know that was a bit long-winded, sorry. That's probably not... hope that was helpful. I believe having part of winter off must be absolutely golden. That's not always the case. I mean, my first winter, I was scraping by, trying to do gutters and stuff. I'm hoping this year there won't be so much pressure, because I'll have earned a fairly decent whack through this summer. I only mention prices because no company, self-entity, ever mention prices other than starting. Yeah, I mean, feel free to ask about pricing here. This is what I'm trying to do is You did a poo on the toilet?
Yeah.
Good job, high five.
I said, if you do a poo on the toilet, I'll get you some milkies. And she went, oh, that sounds nice. And then she got up and she went, that sounds lovely for me. So she just did a poo on the toilet.
Good job, Maya. Do we need to give you milkies every night?
Yeah.
Alright.
When we done poos on toilet.
When you do big poos on the toilet.
You want to open those up?
Can you leave it slightly open, because there's a really nice breeze. I'm sweating so bad. That breeze is so nice. Can you leave it a little bit open for me? Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, girl.
Like that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Welcome. Right, ready?
Yeah, I'm trying to encourage more sort of in-depth questions like this, because I know it only helps people. And I don't see the issue with going through my pricing with people. There's nothing to hide. There's no secrets. Like I don't know why people. I was even considering today. I was driving around thinking, should I go through my like accounting methods on stream, or in a video or something? I was thinking about setting up like a fake spreadsheet to show you guys my process, but then I thought, why don't I just do it with the real spreadsheet? And then it's like everyone knows how much I'm earning, but does it matter if people know how much I'm earning? Like, it's a weird thing, innit? Don't know. I'd like to be as open and transparent as possible with you guys, but obviously I need to be careful at the same time. What do you reckon the XJet has done for your business in measurable terms? Reduced average time, increase per hour. So, for example, this patio I did yesterday. This is a fairly big patio. It's 75 meters squared, wraps around the whole property. My method before would have been to use the gardener backpack, water-fed pole with the brush on the end, and applying it like that with I think it's a 2.5 litre per minute pump. So it's not coming out very fast. So I've got to mix my chemicals in the backpack, fill it up probably multiple times, brush it on, which takes ages, and then also I've got to clean it out afterwards because it's got hypo in it, and I don't want the hypo to damage the pump and to like oxidize everything. And so just that alone, on an area this big, can literally add 40 minutes to the job. This job took an hour and a half in total. Didn't manage to get rid of all the black spots because a lot of these down here were actually fossils, and you can't get rid of fossils in Indian sandstone. But look how foamy and lovely that is. And it's just so quick. You just take the barrel with you and your high pressure hose, and you just squirt it around everywhere. And it's a lot more controlled than I thought as well. Because you're turning the revs down on the machine and you can adjust the spray pattern on the nozzle, it's so much more controlled than I imagined it would be. There's not as much drift. I suppose on a windy day you'd probably get a lot of drift and you've got to be a bit careful, but as long as you're wetting down all the grass, any surfaces that you're worried about reacting, you wet all those down first. And the other great thing is that sorry, my dog is going crazy at the dog next door. The other great thing is that it's got a ball valve on the chemical tube. So as you're spraying, if you get a bit, like I got a bit on the grey conservatory like cladding, and I thought, I don't know what the hypo is going to do to this surface. I've already pre-wet it anyway, but rather than let it sit on there and potentially react, I just turned the little ball valve off, and then it was just water that's coming through. Didn't have to unclip anything, didn't have to take anything off. I was spraying hypo, turned the ball valve off, and now I'm spraying water. So I could rinse that surface down without worrying about it reacting. And it's just so quick. It's brilliant. So I can't give you like an actual measurement in like time, money saving, really, because I've not got much experience with it. I've only been using it a week, but it's significant, especially on a bigger area. So this one, the chap that got me this job, it's Elk Gardens Limited. So I do a lot of work for these guys, and he's very good. He gets me, there he is, he's got a wig on, look. That's his little dog. There's Elliot, look. So he runs his own grounds maintenance business, and here we go, there's one of the jobs I did for him. He's got a lot of like high profile customers, big houses out in the country and stuff. And so he's constantly recommending my work, which is I'm very grateful of. And this was one of his customers, and so they're actually going back to do some more work in the garden, and they're going to repoint this wall as well, because this wall's got loads of pointing missing. The lady thinks they whoever installed the wall in the first place used like the wrong mix of whatever you use. I don't know. You make them weak in the knees, boy. I don't know about that, mate. I don't know about that. Do you put that down to the X-Jet, the time saving? Yeah, definitely. That's a crazy experience. Fair play. That. Thanks, Mr. Moo. Yeah, it's not something you come across every day. I mean, when I was working for Lifeline, it was fairly regular. You're dealing with these very vulnerable people. A lot of them have got terminal illnesses, epilepsy, and cancer and Alzheimer's and all this sort of stuff, and it makes them do some scary stuff. Sorry for the abundance of questions, Luke. Don't apologise. Keep them coming. It gives me something to waffle about. I'll do my best to answer. I'm saving to start in January. I'm looking at this machine. Can you give any advice? Also, getting a trailer, as I don't want to change my car with my kids. How many kids have you got, Luke? There's a reason I'm asking that. Which machine are you looking at? I can't see your link. I'm guessing you're not allowed to post links. Charlie, that's a good way of summarising. Quality over quantity. Thank you. Hey, Connor, you're right. SH, good evening, mate. You say you sort quotes out in the evening. What do you tell them if they ask for a quote on the spot? I very rarely quote on the spot, unless it's like an old person, like this one. When she fell over on me, I actually quoted this one on the spot, because I was fairly confident of like my method. But the majority of the time, I'll go home and have a good think about it. Look at my pictures that I've taken. I actually did I'm sure you've probably seen the video, the short that I did. Let's see if I can find it actually, because I forgot what I said in that short. Look at the amount of hypos just slinging around on that roof. Crazy. These Americans are crazy. What am I doing? What am I doing? Is the music volume okay, guys? Can you please let me know? I know I ask this every time, but I change it every time. So this video, I spoke about not giving quotes on the spot. How do I do it from the start? Customers' houses to either quote or sell a service. I'm betting that you've probably run into this question at least a few times. Do you know roughly how much it's going to cost? I've been caught out by this question twice in the past because I've been pressured into giving on-the-spot estimates that were too cheap. I've either started the job and realised it's going to take way longer than I thought, or I'm barely breaking even after fuel and material costs. I'm not sure if it's something to do with the psychology of like being face to face with a customer, but I always feel like I need to do them a favour by offering them a cheaper price in person. Small businesses have less margin for error, so instead my advice would be to take lots of photos, even videos, and make sure you get all your measurements. Go home, make yourself a cup of tea and really consider what's going to be involved to complete the work. You'll make fewer oversights and you'll be less likely to undersell your service. If like me you run a business that... Yeah, basically that. I've been going for 4 months and I'm fully booked here in Scotland for the next 2 weeks, but I found pricing fairly difficult the last few weeks. I was charging £4 per square metre, not getting many jobs, went down to 3. I was getting most until recently. The last few jobs I've priced have been like 135 to 165 quid. All 3 customers said it's more than they're willing to spend, but I'd rather have a day's. I'd rather have a day's of work than sitting around the house. It's a hard decision. I know what you're saying. It's very difficult when it's either, if you're chasing work because you've not got many quotes coming in or whatever, and this was me when I was first starting out. I was hungry for the work, and so I would quite happily drop my price to suit a customer's budget. I'm fortunate enough now not to be in that position where I need to reduce my prices, and the customer can either afford it or they can't. And, you know, I'm a reasonable person. If I'll sometimes say, did you have a price in mind? Have you got a budget? And maybe I can come down to meet you somewhere and we can come up with some sort of middle ground, because I'm a reasonable person. Like, I'm not. The other thing about my quotes is that, yes, I put a lot of time and effort into them and a lot of thought, but it doesn't mean they're always right. You know, just because I've done the quote, it doesn't mean I don't need to take into consideration the customer's perspective and the customer's idea of how much the job should take, how much the job should cost. Not that I'm going to let them dictate that, but I certainly will take it into account. Why don't you clean roofs anymore? Every roof that I've cleaned has just been an awful experience, and it's taken longer than I've quoted for. And out, the cat's coming in. Oh. My little boy's got allergies. This is my son's room, and he's allergic to our cat, and so the cat tries to sleep on his pillow, and so I've got to keep her out of the room. So every roof clean has just been rubbish. Like, I've got the result and the jobs have always been good for the customer, but generally you need more than one person. You need lots of extra equipment, like a tower, an extendable pole, brushes, all sorts of attachments, chemical application equipment for the biocide, and it's just a whole additional body of knowledge, equipment that I'm just not interested in at the minute. I mean, the money's there. You can certainly make a hell of a lot of money cleaning roofs, but I'd need a bigger van. I'd potentially need a second person to help me. Maybe that day will come, but it's not going to be anytime soon. I've just made the decision to stop entertaining quotes for roofs, even bungalows and stuff. Like I did a bungalow by myself last year, and it was fine. It was difficult, you know, on your hands and knees scraping a roof. You know, never say never. There's always a chance I'll do another roof, but I just think back to how little I actually enjoyed it. So what's the point? I'd rather be enjoying my day than putting myself through, making myself suffer just for an extra few quid. In my head, there's easier money to be made in just doing my regular stuff. Someone's tagged me. Bear with me just a sec. Another one of my gardener friends has tagged me in something. Mention me in a comment. Looking for a company who do roof cleaning, moss removal, etc. Not me. Shari. Okay. So there's a few things I wanted to talk about. I've got my little list. I've been approached about a quote today, this afternoon, and it's for these 3 bins here. So this is another old friend from school. She reached out and said, I don't know if you remember me, but we went to school together. And would you be interested in cleaning these commercial bins? The one on the right is cardboard only. The ones on the left are general waste. She says they just need a real good clean out inside and out. And I think, although I'd love to do this, and I think it'll be like a good experience, it'll be probably fairly simple. You could probably get away with charging, I reckon, £55 to £60 per bin. I think that's reasonable. Lie it on its side, open the lid, spray some Synergy Clean in there, some degreaser and a bit of hypo maybe, because there's probably some sort of organic waste in there as well. Let it dwell, pressure wash it all out, but the problem arises where I think it's actually illegal in the UK to dispose of water from washing bins down into the drains, and you need either a pass or some sort of let's have a look. Here we go. So because this runoff goes directly into a river, stream or soakaway, if you allow wheeled waste container washings to enter these drains or discharge into unmade ground, you could be causing water pollution. Fines of up to £50,000 or 6 months imprisonment. So it says what you need to do with these is you need to find a foul sewer on your own premises with an agreement from the local sewage provider or an online sewage treatment system. Sorry, on-site sewage treatment system. And if you're going to carry the water around in your vehicle with you, the dirty water, you also need a license to transport for onward waste disposal. So it's like a whole new, that's a whole business on its own, cleaning bins and being like legal. So I think I'm gonna have to go back to her and say I'm sorry, like I'm not qualified to be able to do this. I don't have the permits to be able to clean bins, just because of all that waste water, which is unfortunate because I'd have liked to have done that, because that could turn into like a whole another wing to your business. Like if you went into commercial bin cleaning on the side of pressure washing drives and patios, commercial bin cleaning could take you through the winter. If you've got enough customers and you tell them I'll return every 2 months to clean your bins, or every month or whatever, this is a contract that could carry you through the winter. If you have enough people sign up for your maintenance program, that could be really viable, but you've got to make sure you're doing it legally, I suppose. Requoting, I like what the Quote IQ guys say about having something like a 50% to 60% lead conversion rate. Too many accepted, maybe you're too cheap, and vice versa. Yeah, that's exactly right. If you're getting 95 to 100% of your quotes accepted, I mean, I did say on the last stream, I reckon I'm about 95 of my quotes. 95% of my quotes are being accepted. But I wouldn't consider myself cheap, so it's also, I don't know, I think character comes into it as well, and previous work and your pictures and your videos and all that sort of stuff. People can see you offer a high quality service. To be honest, I do think I price slightly higher than most people, so it's difficult to say, but I see what you're saying. Keith. It is Keith, isn't it? I'm going to scroll up just to make sure I've got that right. Keith, yes. You still managing to tie in work with Mr. Mullet? Is that Callum? Are you talking about Callum? Yes, I did some work for Mr. Mullet on Friday? We've got a quote just come in, guys. Should we do it together? So this was a tarmac restoration job I did the other day. Again, 75 meters squared. 2 coats. Came out really well. So this only took me like 2 hours in the morning. So 9 till like 11. And so I was able to then drive over to Coventry from Redditch. Took me about an hour. So this was a job. This second one was a job for Callum because he runs a business called Solar Secure. I wonder if I can find him on Instagram. I don't want to log in. Can I do /solar? Oh, I can. Look at that. I'm clever, aren't I? So this is Callum and his solar panel proofing business. I can't even click on the picture without signing in. That's annoying. So he does all the pigeon proofing around the sides of the solar panels. And he asked me if, because he had 3 jobs on that day, and he was in Oxford and stuff, he said if you can give me a head start by washing the panels and cleaning out the gutters, because I've got the vacuum and stuff, which I don't think he hasn't got a proper gutter vacuum set up yet, so he does it all by hand. So I went out and cleaned these gutters and then climbed on the roof and washed the solar panels. Didn't manage to catch him because I had to get back to pick up the kids from school. So flew out there. I actually had to use my generator because the lady weren't home. So for the first half of cleaning out the gutters, I haven't used my generator for ages, but it I just had it in the van luckily, and I managed to clean the front of the gutters with the vacuum and hooked up to the generator, which was cool. Finally found a use for it. I was using it on schools, like commercial cleaning schools gutters, which is why I bought it in the first place, just in case there wasn't a power supply nearby, or the windows or the doors on the school weren't open or whatever. How much roughly do you charge for a full house render clean, normal size 3-bed semi-detached? Jay, I've never done a render clean. Can you believe it? We don't really have much. I think some areas in the UK have more render than others, and like things like Pebble Dash and all that sort of stuff. I think coastal houses or coastal towns have like a lot of render. It's strange that I've never been contacted to. Maybe I should offer to do like a free one, or offer to do like a discounted one, just to get some pictures on my Facebook so that people know I do this. But it's strange, isn't it? I see loads of people cleaning render, and I've never even been asked to do one. The thing I would say is Pure Seal sell Nuclear Pro, and people have been using that for render cleaning, and the results look insane. Bit of cladding. I'm sure if I scroll down far enough we'll see some render cleaning. Here we go. I knew it. Steam and Nuclear Pro. Look at that. Imagine you're the customer and you get those results. it's still like you still got to spend all that time pressure washing, so the chemicals don't do everything, but I suppose the chemicals are going to get rid of all these streaks. But yeah, you want to get like a nice foamy surfactant, probably a water-fed brush. So this is where I probably wouldn't use the X-Jet, just because it's quite high chance of drift, and you don't necessarily want to get it on stuff that you don't want to get it on random surfaces, and so you've got a lot more control with like a water-fed brush, I'd say. With the roof cleaning, I've seen companies put huge amount of biocide on their treatment wise, as well as having a huge pole with small pressure washer attached. Doesn't look time consuming. No, I mean, cleaning the roof, I mean, it is, depending on the size of the roof. I think you'd get the average roof clean done in a day. But the problem is the setup. It's probably going to take you like an hour to set up your equipment, set up your tower, get any tower pouring down that you need to get down. It's not just cleaning the roof, you've got to clean all the gutters, you probably have to clean the windows down afterwards, you have to clean the whole surface area around the roof because it's so messy. The ground area. And then also you can't put the biocide on while it's wet, so you might have to come back the next day to apply the biocide. And it is time consuming. It's there's lots of people that attempt it and then think, I'm not doing this. And there's a difference. There's pressure washing and there's scraping, and they both take different amounts of times. You might, I mean, a roof like that you probably wouldn't pressure wash. That looks like slate to me. And so that would be one that you'd probably just scrape and apply biocide. Although I don't know if you can biocide slate actually. Natural slate anyway. Or is it man-made slate you can't biocide? I can't remember. Jake says, hi Jake, Monday stream day again already? Yes. Thanks for coming back in. My question today is, where would you say most of your leads come from? Do you run Google Ads? I don't pay for any advertising at the moment. All I'd say, I was talking the other day about this, I reckon 60 to 70% of my leads come from recommendations from other people, from jobs I've done in the past, friends and family, or previous customers. And then I'd say another 30 to 40% come from my Facebook page. And then if there's like a spare 5% in there, I'd say the rest would be from like TikTok and Instagram. Because I have a lot of people from all around the country watching my TikTok videos, and so I just went through like 41 unread messages on TikTok. The majority of them were asking how to set up a business, and then the others were asking for a quote from all around the country, so it's difficult to sort through those. How are you landing school jobs? It was a very weird situation actually. My niece's granddad is a carpet cleaner for some schools over in Worcester, and he literally just said that they're looking to get their gutters cleaned, so just give him a call and say that I recommended you and you'll probably get in there. And he told me the price of the last person that got the quote, because the head teacher told him how much the quote was for the gutters, and he said basically if you can do it any less, you've got the job basically. And that's what I did. Very strange situation. And that led on to a lot more commercial, a lot more school work in that same area, because they all sort of talk to each other. I charged £250 for a 4-bed detached render clean, as it was my first time doing it. majorly underestimated how long it would take. Oh really? The customer tipped 50 quid. Connor, that's a seriously impressive tip. You're doing something right for the customer to give you that much additional money. That was either your attitude, your work ethic, or I don't know what else, but to get a tip of 50 quid is seriously good. So you're definitely doing something right there, mate. And just take it as a learning experience. Don't, you know, that you've still got paid 250 quid for that job. And on top of that money, you've also got all this new experience that you didn't have before. So don't write that off as a failure. That's a huge success. I'm thinking about offering artificial grass cleaning when I start. I do my own with power broom and chemicals to clean up after the dogs. Artificial grass seems more and more popular. Artificial grass is going insane at the moment, isn't it? Everyone wants it. I was looking at those power brooms the other day. Because I had an idea for a product that I was thinking about developing. It does look fun. I'd love to have a go on one. I was looking at hiring a Westerman the other day. For a tennis court clean that I was asked to quote for. It was too far gone in the end. The Westerman would have finished it off. I think the whole top layer of tarmac was just gone. It needed relaying. Yeah, I mean, with the with artificial grass cleaning, the issue I would have thought would always be drainage. If you're going to use water, you obviously wouldn't use massively high pressure, I don't think. But generally, they don't. When they're building these artificial grass raised beds and gardens and stuff, they don't take into account where the water's going to go, because it's a grassy area. It's not like block paving or a patio where you do need to consider the water runoff. And so I think it would be quite easy to flood one. Also, with a lot of artificial grass, the reason people are getting artificial grass is because they've got pets and they're going to be peeing all over it and pooing all over it, and it's going to absolutely stink when you come to clean it. I don't know if you've ever pressure washed an area where the dog's been weeing, but it's grim. It's proper grim, let me tell you. Like, I've done a few, and if you didn't tell me where the dog had been peeing, you can pressure wash around, pressure wash, and then you get to an area and it's like, oh, what is that smell? And because you've disturbed it all with a pressure washer, and you're getting all the stuff all up from between the blocks or the slabs. Oh, it's different, man. When it's been baking in the sun as well, it's not good. But if you could just do like a soft wash, if you could soft wash artificial grass and get a good result, and like you say, use one of those power brooms, that'd be pretty sick. I'd definitely be up for doing that. And you can rent these Westermans for like £60 a day, £100 a week. I'm sure they do different sizes. You could probably rent those power brooms as well. Yep, good work, Connor. It was good results, good. I hope you took loads of before and afters. Render is basically weatherproofing, so high ground where the weather is worse, you'll get more render. Ah, that makes sense. Thanks PJW, that makes a lot of sense. Yep, now I know how long it takes exactly. What do you charge roughly per square meter? For a patio, natural stone, all that sort of stuff, it's usually £3.50 per square meter. Unless I'm going to use a lot of chemicals, then I'll probably bump that up a little bit. And then for block paving, it's around about £4 per square meter. And depending on how big the area is, I might add the cost of sand, or even the cost of the sand application on top of that. If it's a massive area, I'm not going to swallow the cost of the sand in that £4 per square meter. I'll charge that to the customer on top of the price. Jake, can you scroll back up? The link wouldn't send, but I've wrote a small description on the machine and mentioned the trailer too. The link wouldn't send, but I wrote a small description on the machine. Sorry, Luke, did I miss that? My bad, mate. Thelma, welcome. Luke, I've got a feeling if you've included that link in the description that you wrote, I've got a feeling it all got deleted and I can't see it. So I can't see any previous comment from you with anything about a machine. Sorry, mate. Let me know which machine you're looking at. I've always wondered about a trailer. Trailers are a bit I'm not sure how I'd get on driving around with a trailer. And it's also like a case of storing it. Where are you going to put a trailer? What else have I done this week? This was my first job with the X-Jet, I think. Awful black spots. Someone had a go at cleaning it before. I couldn't get all the black spots up after 2 chemical treatments, but it looked a hell of a lot better than it did. Steps came up nice. Totally transformed those slabs, doesn't it? See where someone's had a go with a Karcher turbo nozzle. She was really disappointed. Someone came round, like a friend came round to do it for her. After she asked for recommendations. And he said, I'll just do it as a favour for you. She ended up paying him. And it took him a long time. He got absolutely filthy. And this was the result, and she weren't very happy with it, and so that's why she called me. And she was absolutely buzzing about that. She was really happy. Sorry, no, I meant for patios and driveways. That's alright, mate. It was kind of guesswork. Anyone have any ideas to measure up house walls would be handy. Only option I can think of is laser. So apparently the Pure Seal app is going to have on your phone, you can use the camera and point to specific locations and it will draw lines between them and it'll allow you to measure stuff. Don't know how good it's going to be. I don't even know if it's out yet. It was supposed to be out at the beginning of last month, but it might already be on Apple. I don't think it's out on Android yet. I don't know if that feature's been added yet, but I can't wait for that. If that works, firstly, if it comes out, great. Secondly, if it actually works well, that is going to be an absolute game changer. Being able to point your phone, walk around the property and measure stuff. It's like, what's that word for? It's not virtual reality. It's the AR, augmented reality, where it's like overlaying an image on top of what you're looking at. Shall we respond to this quote together? I just don't want to give away any personal information. Someone's looking for a quote for their gutters for their nan. Hi Ashley, can you please send me the address and I'll take a look on Google Maps. Does she have a conservatory? Yeah, I'm not going to do that on the stream just because it's going to show you all his details and stuff. Sorry about that. Right, I've got some other stuff to go through if you guys are ready for me to move on. Do you get many customers from YouTube now? YouTube pays well when you've got a good short. The shorts absolutely blew my channel up. And like the latest short that I've got that's doing well is one that I posted a while ago actually. So this one has just blown up. It's resanding job. It's now got 10 million views. And lots of engagement because of the blocks at the start that were all wobbly. So lots of people are commenting on who the hell's laid those blocks. How can you leave those blocks like that? It's like, my job isn't to relay the entire drive. My job is just to clean it and sand it. So lots of people comment about that. And for some reason this video has just taken off. And so that's done quite well with regards to earning. How do you measure driveways in square meters? Do you use Google Earth? Yeah, if I'm remotely quoting, I'll use Google Earth. If I'm able to quote in person, I'll sometimes get the tape measure out. Thanks, Jake. Going to cater to customers without reason. I'm going to cater to customers without reason on pricing until I have enough work to not worry about what jobs I take. Okay, it's a balance, mate. If you can meet the customer in the middle, and you don't let them take advantage of your time. Make sure you're charging enough to cover your bills, and don't let people lowball you because you're probably worth more than that. Where'd you get the orange tip from? Pressure washer sales and service in Evesham. These guys. Can't remember how much it costs, sorry. Okay, Luke. Full driveway package includes a Honda GX390, 21 litres per minute, surface cleaner and various other attachments that comes in at £3,194. You're going to get a trailer for £1,900 and store it in a garage. So what I'd suggest right off the bat is that machine, that starter package is going to come. Let's have a look on eBay. Something like this. So this looks similar to the one that you're describing. So when you get this, you might find that this the skid that it's on, the trolley that it's on, if you're having a trailer and you want it mounted in a trailer, which is probably ideal, because that way you can also have a hose reel mounted in the trailer. you're spending money on this trolley, and you're spending money on what it probably comes with 10 or 20 meters of hose. $10 meters of high pressure hose. So for me, I would probably instead, if you know you're gonna like trailer mount it, I'd probably go somewhere like PWS, because they I think the better place to describe this would be Rutland Pumps, because I saw on the other day they do skid mounted come on, here we go. So you could get something that's on a skid rather than on wheels. So you're paying for a skid instead of paying for a trolley. That can then be mounted in your trailer, and then you can get a reel, a mounted reel. I'm just picking a random one here, but like a high pressure reel with like 40 or 50 meters of hose, because you might find that you can get an equally good machine for a lot less money, and then put the rest of the money, rather than having this 10 meter hose that you can't really do anything with, get a 40 meter hose, a big reel, mount it all in your trailer. If you can store that trailer in a garage, you know, I'd do it properly from the get-go, rather than paying additional money for stuff that you don't need. It might be easier to sort of build it yourself, get all the bits, get all the elements that you need, and build it yourself, because you'll probably need you'll need like a tank as well, won't you? You'll need a buffer tank. And what you could do is take your trailer to somewhere like PWS in Stafford, and they'll do you like a van mounted system, like a trailer mounted system, something like this. This is where I'd spend your money. Get the turbo pack. Where's the price? I can't see the total price for that now. I've added the turbo pack on. But look, you've got a big old reel on there. It's mounted on a skid already. You just need to buy the hose then. Comes with a lance and everything. I think this would be a cheaper, better way to do it for you, if it fits in your trailer. And get them to sort of custom fit it to your trailer. Depends how much money you've got to spend. You know what I mean? Do a lot of pressure washing companies clean and sand as standard. Prince D, yeah, you're gonna want to sand. If you're not resanding block paving, you're not doing a full service. I actually went into when I bought my first pressure washer, and I pressure washed my girlfriend's mum's drive. She said, "Oh, you're gonna sand it afterwards?" I said, "No, I hadn't really thought about that. I don't think I will." And she's got like a maintenance guy that comes around and helps with the garden and stuff. And he said, "Oh no, you need to sand it. You're gonna blow all that sand out with the pressure washer. You need to put the sand back in." I was like, "Oh, that's annoying." Like I didn't consider that. But he's right. He's right, you do need to do that. I meant within reason, not without. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Nasty, you're right. I hope all is well. Keep up the good work, fella. Thank you very much. I appreciate you popping in every week to say hi. Hope you're having a good week. Do you speak to Partridge exterior cleaning? You'd make a good team up. No, I've never spoke to him actually. I walked past him at a cleaning show last year, and clearly he wouldn't know who I was, so there's no point in really saying hi. I mean, I suppose I could have stopped him and said hello, and he seems like a friendly guy, but I didn't want to bother him. I think the cleaning show this year, I'm probably gonna. I might do a hotel this year, because they all seem to have. They all went out for drinks and stuff and stayed in the hotel afterwards, and it looked like they all had quite a laugh. So I might try and join if they'll have me. It's already on iPhone. Tape measure, it's great. PJW, have you tried it? Have you just downloaded it, or have you been using it? Does it actually work? I'd love to see it in action. What equipment would you say is best for just starting, and where from? JJC, I've got an early video on my channel which you might find useful. This is advice that I think I'd still give to people. If you're just starting out, you're not sure whether this is the industry for you, if you want to give it a try, you can make a serious amount of money and spend under £400. It's a bit of a cringy video because it's literally my very first one, but if I gotta do this every time I want to type in my own chat, come on. There's a link to it just there. Hope you find it useful. I've just seen quite a few videos. John says, I've just seen quite a few videos lately of decking and fence cleaning where they're spraying the wood and the results are insane. I'm guessing it's sodium hypochlorite they're spraying. Will it damage the wood? So yes, it'll bleach the wood. I've actually I've done a few where I was testing it on my own shed, like this one here. You can literally see instant results. It really does brighten up tired old wood. You know, if it's not been sealed, it's not been treated, it's not been painted, it will instantly brighten up the wood. It's insane. It's a great method if your customer is intending on maybe painting the fence or painting the shed or painting the decking. It's a good idea. You've got to advise them that while it will clean it, it's also going to bleach the wood. But for decking, what I'd recommend, rather than pressure washing it, is to do like a heavy rinse on it. Get as much off as you can with the pressure washer, and then just biocide it. And there's a product from, I know we've been over this a couple of times, but we get these new questions every now and again, or we get similar questions every now and again, and I like to try and give a good answer each time. So I'm sorry if you've already heard me talk about this, but there's a product from Pure Seal that's called Deck Clean Pro. It's a 2-part product that you mix together on site, and these are the sort of results you can expect. And I believe this contains biocide, and this is likely just a rinse, and then you just sort of put this product on. Don't know how long it takes. I've not used it before, but might be worth looking into. Deck Clean Pro from Pure Seal. What do you do when you're working in the back garden of the property and your van is open at the front, unattended, with your washer running? Are you not worried of people stealing it from your van? Yeah, I mean, it is a concern, and you take different precautions depending on which area you're in. You know, if it's a nice area, I'm not too worried. If it's a dodgy area, I'm nipping back and forward from the van every 5 minutes to make sure nothing's gone. Because, you know, I've got my leaf blower in there, I've got my gutter vacuum and other stuff in there. nothing you can do. Your back doors have got to be open because of the exhaust fumes and the heat coming from the machine. If at any point the machine stops and it goes silent, then I know something's wrong. But you know, fingers crossed, nothing's happened. Nothing's happened in the past. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is Equip to Clean are now selling Honda powered machines. Can you believe it? They're doing a range. Why is it taking me there? Here we go. So they're doing a range of different Honda powered machines. So they've got the GX200, GX270, GX390. Interestingly, none of them are 21 litres per minute. These are only 15 litres per minute. It's still got their pump on it. So this pump looks to be the same one that came with my machine. Same unloader that I'm having problems with, or I had problems with until I changed it. But this is now a company that was selling, you know, fairly cheap products because they were being manufactured in China, which this one probably still is, with, you know, potentially cheaper parts. I don't know too much about it, but there's a reason that they can sell a, you know, 15 litre per minute machine for less than £1,000, where no one else can. But they've now upgraded these. I think they were using Lincoln engines before, and they're now offering these Honda engines, which is interesting. Obviously the price tag matches, so you're paying an extra 700 quid. To have the Honda engine, and it looks like different wheels, slightly different. Actually, that's the same trolley that I had on mine. Looks like potentially slightly different wheels. I can't think. Buy a cheap video doorbell or wireless camera, tether it to your phone so it has some internet, and stick it on the back of your van. That way, any motion, you'll get a notification in case. That's a really good idea. Would that work? Is that something you've done? Just up to the part where the companies offer skid and mounted pressure washers. You're an absolute diamond, Jake. Loads of help here. Thank you. I'm 6 minutes behind. Oh, no worries, mate. If you're behind on the stream, try refreshing it. Try and hit refresh. I'm glad you're finding this information useful. But the reason I say that is because you might be buying equipment that is general purpose, that sort of suits everyone, but it's got stuff on it that you're paying for that doesn't suit your application. And so why not go to a specific supplier where you can get the correct pieces to the puzzle that suit your application? You could even end up spending less money. You know, if you've got the money to spend, just do it right from the beginning. I would. If I could do it all again and I had like $4,000 to invest into like a decent van setup, that's the way I'd do it. I'd probably buy something like this. They can put boilers on it, they can attach a tank to it, there's all sorts you can do. Literally just go to them with the problem, say that this is a trailer I've got, this is kind of the equipment I want, can you point me in the right direction, can you build it for me? I'm sure there'll be a lead time on something like this. But it's, one, it'll save you space, two, it'll probably save you money in the long run, and three, it's going to be so much more convenient. Just the only thing I'd be careful of is the trailer. Speak to someone who already runs a trailer and see what they think of it. I'm looking at. Do you want to see what I'm looking at the moment? I was considering a trailer for a long time, but instead, I'm looking at one of these. Because I've got kids, this is the reason I asked you about the kids earlier. I need at least 2 additional seats in the van for my 2 kids, and ideally it'd be nice to have a 3rd seat for my partner, and even maybe space for the dog. And so what I'm considering is getting something like this, which has, if you get the iLoad crew, the crew van like that, it's got 3 seats in the front, because it's got like a bench in the front, and then it's got another like 3 seats in the middle, and then like a van area at the back. I just don't know if I'd be losing too much space in the back, because my van at the minute is like just on the edge of being too small with the space that I've got in the back. I couldn't really afford to lose any room, but this is essentially my van plus an extra row of seats, which would be perfect. So this might be the route. See that bench? That'll be cool. But one can only dream. The Pure Seal Android app is up. Notice that your company is up on the approved applicators section. Did you opt from the Pure Seal advertising? Chris said something about it on module 1. No, that might be why I'm not getting the emails then. I'm going to download the app right now. Actually, I won't do it now. I'll do it later. I found, you know, on the last stream, we spoke about my fuel situation. I just spilled all that down me. So my fuel, I had a jerry can, basically. I had this. And because my roof of my van is here, my pressure washer comes up to about here, and so when I've got to refuel it, because it's inside the van, I can't take it out, I've got to like lean in and tip this heavy, it's already heavy because it's a big metal jerry can, and you add like 15 litres of fuel into that, and trying to tilt that without spilling anything, oh, nightmare. Never knew how full it was, so never knew whether it needed filling up or not. So I've got rid of that. We looked at pumps on stream last time. We looked at like you can attach like a pump to the top of it and like hand pump it so it siphons it into the pressure washer, but I didn't want to risk getting something that was going to take me more time and potentially like not fit the lid and all that sort of stuff. So instead, $7.99 each. I've got myself 2 of these. Oops. These little 10-litre jerry cans. Much better. They're clear, so I can see how much fuel's in them. So this little one on the right here is for my leaf blower, because I've got to mix 2-stroke oil into it. And then I've got 2 clear fuel cans. 10 litres, so I can easily lift it, easily pour it. I can see how much is in there, it's perfect. Just thought I'd let you guys know. Could take out the seats you wouldn't need from the second row, box it off and put a van mount in the side. Yeah, exactly. So there's 2 different Hyundais. One of them is the iLoad, which is more of a van. and it's got a van rear end, and you might get the iLoad Crew, which has a row of seats, or you can get the i800, which is the full people carrier, and this has 3, 6, 9 seats in it. So again, you could just get this as well and take out the rear bench, slide these seats forward, and you've essentially got like a luxury van, I suppose. I wouldn't necessarily call it luxury, but it's nicer than your average van, isn't it? I like the way they look as well. I think they look cool. Vans like that are known as crew cabs. Yeah, been in a few and they're pretty good. Yeah, the issue with the whole crew cab thing is I think you lose a lot of room. You lose a lot of van. It'd be cool if they had like an extended wheelbase crew cab. That would be like perfect. If you had 5 seats in a van, extended wheelbase, like a Sprinter or something with a lower roof, that'd be wicked. Why haven't they done that? I like some of the new Peugeot vans. But again, they're just quite small in the back. It's not a big van. Something like this. That's a long wheelbase, but it doesn't look that long, does it? If you look at it from the side, you've only got a small section. You might as well just have a big boot. Look at that. No, you can't see very well, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, with these... Oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I thought those seats were folded up. Looks like they kind of are, I don't know. I'd love a new van. But I don't buy stuff unless what I've got currently breaks. I've got a bad habit for that. It's bit me in the arse in the past. Like I should probably... I do need to get out of that mindset where it's like if it's not broke, don't fix it sort of thing. Because I'm tight, you know me, like from my previous videos and stuff. I don't like spending money on stuff that I don't have to spend money on. A lot of people like enjoy spending all their money on the latest gear, the latest equipment and stuff, and I'm not that person, but a new van is very tempting. And like a new setup, like that PWS setup, like a van mounted bright green army hose reel, and
Can you sit with you for 10 minutes?
you going swimming? Yeah. Not really.
We've read books, she's jumped on our bed.
You can sit with me for 5 minutes. Okay?
Yeah.
5 minutes and then you must go to bed.
I got my old daddies.
You've got all your teddies.
Hello, daddy.
You're a funny girl.
Roasting in here.
Yeah, it's hot, isn't it? What time is it? Maya, it's 9:10. It's your bedtime. You're 2 hours past your bedtime. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Right. I want to get your opinion on something I did a while ago.
Oh,
It's a bit of a controversial topic. There
Twinkle,
you go.
twinkle, daddy.
That's alright, girlie. So a while ago I offered some of my before and after pictures. My content. So I put a post out on some of the Facebook pages and offered for new starters, for people starting the business for the first time, you could buy my before and after pictures like a year's worth of before and after pictures. So there's like 50 images. What are you laughing at? You laughing at me?
Yeah.
So it's 50 images.
Oh,
They're all like,
oh no, my table is broken.
they're all like side by side, good composition.
Curtains is broken.
You know, high quality before and after pictures. And it was 15 quid, and you could buy the whole pack. And I sold about 10, I think. I sold about 10 packs, but there's obviously a big discussion on Facebook about people saying this isn't right. You know, you're misleading your customers and all that sort of stuff. And I understand from both sides. I understand from the side of starting a new business, not having any images to show, and not being able to advertise because you've got no before and afters. So I understand that, but I also understand that you're potentially showing your customers work that you can't achieve, like the same level of results that you can't achieve. But obviously I accumulate all these photos, and it'd be nice to do something with them. Like I've obviously used them all once myself, and now they're just sort of sat there. And so I was considering, some of you guys have been mentioning things like merch, and you've mentioned that you want to buy some of the same equipment that I buy. And I thought if I could host some kind of online shop, maybe like a Shopify, because I can link Shopify with my YouTube channel, and essentially create a website that's like an online shop, link it to my YouTube, and I could sell stuff like merch, like t-shirts, hats, before and after pictures, nozzles, buffer tanks, all that sort of stuff. Do you guys think that'd be a good idea or not? Just wondering whether it's worth pursuing, or whether it's just like an idea that's not really going to go anywhere. I need to use the bathroom. I'll be back in just a sec. Maya,
Yes.
do you want to talk to everyone?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk into here? No? You don't touch any buttons, okay? Alright? Back in a sec.
Where are you going?
Go for a wee wee.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Hello. Maya. Yeah. And Daddy comes go for food. Hello.
What are you messing with, girlie? You cheeky monk.
She didn't mess with anything for ages, and then she started talking to him. Daddy.
Oh god.
Michael, do that.
No, Daddy's gonna do this.
What?
May, you be a good girl for Daddy, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you've opened up my video editing.
What? What, Mummy? No, Daddy. Where, Daddy?
Look, you've opened up this. What have you done?
Ha ha ha. I not do everything. Dad, I not do everything.
You didn't do anything?
No.
Oh, okay. Good idea, mate. You tend to tailor a lot of your content toward new starters, so it'll go hand in hand, in my opinion. What do you have to lose? You never know if you don't try. That's very true. Well, I suppose the only thing I have to lose is time. I think it'll be a lot of time to set that sort of thing up. Worth a try. Go for it, Jake. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is, again, showing how tight I am, is my uniform my hat is totally filthy, and my t-shirts are all stained with hypo. And so this is how I'm turning up to jobs now, and I'm getting on the verge of looking very scruffy when I turn up. And so again, this is just me being tight, not wanting to order more uniform. But I thought while I'm ordering some more uniform, I might try and test out some merch ideas and see what sort of quality comes back, and see if you guys would be interested in getting some t-shirts or something, because I found some shirts that I really like. So these ones are from Screwfix. These are the ones that I wear to work every day. They're the sight ones from Screwfix. There's sight on them. And this has got my embroidered logo on there. Okay. Okay. Love you. See you in a bit. Have a nice time.
Short.
Hmm?
Short.
You want the door shut?
Be good.
No, I'm too hot, girly. So, embroidered logo. And this would be similar to... Don't touch, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. I think this would probably be similar to what I'd put out in merch. Hey, I said don't touch. So I'd probably like to do like a polo, black and white polos, embroidered logo. It wouldn't be that logo. It would be my. It would probably be something like. Just the name smelt embroidered. And I also like these hats. I think this is like, I'd wear this hat if it wasn't like my work hat. This is a hat that I'd wear out. Like, it's got the Velcro on the back. It's very comfortable, very like understated, and again like embroidered on the front. What am I listening to? I'm getting down, girly. Do you want your pillow, teddies?
I don't want. I'm so tired.
All right, 2 secs. Why don't you play with something?
I said I think cosmic daddy. Yeah. Sorry, Dad. This is.
Yeah, don't mess, please, girl. Thank you. Could be something like that with my other logo. I don't know if I've got like a logo folder. But basically, this pressure washing. Hey, Callum, you're right. Speak of the devil, we were talking about you earlier. You know this pressure washing lance that wraps around the image. I was thinking about that. Oh god, it's difficult to explain. In like some sort of orange. This is very, very rough, but paint on this layer. Something like this. And then it sort of goes into the lance. You know what I mean? I think that'll look decent on some merch. Nah, I'm not talking bad about you, don't worry. I think Luca lost the other one, girlie.
What?
I don't know.
Just these three.
Merch should only make the channel grow. Why don't you have a set uniform in the van for visits to give quotes, 2 shirts, and bang, always presentable. Luke, that's a fantastic idea. What a great idea. Just have like have a t-shirt, have a polo shirt, and a hat specifically for doing quotes, always in the van. That's a great idea. I'm going to do that. Or at least just have one set of uniform that I know I'm not going to get bleach on, or I'm not going to get filthy.
Daddy,
Yeah.
who's sexy man and Lucas name?
Stretchy man.
Yeah.
I think he's under that mask.
Okay, then
You got him?
yeah. What's in this hand? Big thing.
Nothing in particular, Callum. We were just talking about your business, and I managed to find Solar Secure on Instagram, but I couldn't view any of your pictures because I've got to log in, and I don't know what my login is. But I was just saying I did some work for you on Friday in Coventry, cleaning some panels. Did you see the soft shell jacket I made for my car sales mechanic mate? No, I didn't. I'm going to get one of those when I go to do quotes. I like the idea of those soft shell jackets. Yeah, something like this. That would look sick with my logo on it. Look at that. That would look ace. Smells pressure washing on there. Oof. You having fun, girlie? Do you need toilet? Can I check?
No. Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted, look at how cool these boots are. Look at these. Again, I've needed boots for so long. But I've just, because boots are expensive, like waterproof boots are expensive, I've not pulled the trigger. I don't know whether these are actually waterproof, but they are chainsaw boots. Yeah.
May I play this?
Yep, you can play that. If you're not tired, you sure you're not tired? Are you going to take it into your room? Oh, that's a good girl. Good job. I'll see you in a bit. See you in a bit. You can send a link, Callum, on WhatsApp. I don't think you can do it on YouTube. Look how nice these boots are, though. Do they do my size? They do. So these are 70 quid, and in the local farm shop they're about 60 quid. Chainsaw safety boots, comfortable and stable. Steel toe caps. I think this is overkill for what I need. I don't need steel toe caps really. They come up large, but it doesn't say whether they're waterproof. I'm assuming because they're rubber, they're fully rubber all the way around, they'll be waterproof. And my boots at the minute are crap. They're literally just some wellies that are too big for me. All the sole on the inside is rubbed out. They're always wet, so I'm putting my fresh socks into wet boots every day. It's rubbish. The customers are going to want more than their driveways cleaning. Bad boy orange fancies. New boot goofy. Do you think it's too much? I like them. I think they're really cool. Maybe try giving equipment names. It might be a little annoying to remember. What do you mean, Kevin? Maybe try giving equipment names. Not sure what you're saying, mate. Let me know. So I'm after some new boots, looking at them, providing they're waterproof and providing they're comfortable and not too heavy. And also, I saw in Screwfix the other day, I'm having an issue with my glasses at the moment. I've got some safety glasses, but they're quite thin, like that. They're not like that, they're like that. And so if I'm sort of looking up, and your natural tendency when you're pressure washing and you're getting dirt sprayed in your face, your natural tendency is to look up like that and sort of look away. But that's when the dirt goes up underneath your glasses. And so I was looking in Screwfix and I saw these. Look at these, 10 quid. I tried them on and they're quite comfortable. And then I looked on the Screwfix website after I'd been in store and briefly tried these on, and I found these orange ones. I'm all about the matching colours. Imagine me with my orange goggles, my orange boots, my suspenders. So I've got some like waterproof trousers with suspenders on, slacks. I'd look like a right pressure washer. Do I want to spend 16 quid on some glasses, or should I stick with the black ones for 5 quid? I could try them first, couldn't I? They actually look decent. They're sight. Anything from Screwfix is great. I've never had a problem with a product from Screwfix. Very comfortable, good value for money, excellent goggles, really good price, excellent quality, don't steam up, nice fit, loft full of fiberglass dust, great fit, sealed from my eyes from dust. This is what I want. I'm thinking the black ones, because I'm tight. Do you have a video in terms of maintenance on the machine? I know earlier you mentioned a problem spring. Anything else you replace regularly? No, just the oil. I could do it. I'm due an oil change, so I could do like a machine service if anyone would be interested in watching that. Let me know if you guys want to see me service my engine. It's due an air filter. It's due an oil change. I could probably replace the gearbox oil at the same time. It's all very simple stuff. Give me an excuse to pull everything out of the van and give it all a clean as well. Go for the minion look. You just need a can of orange Tango to be complete. If you're gonna do it right. Go for the orange. You reckon? I think I'm like, my brand is like orange and black. So the black would work as well. I don't know if it's the right type of orange. It's quite light. Look at this guy. Why is he smiling? Oh dear. Bring back maintenance Mondays. Oh, Mr. Moo, do you remember that? Hey, is that a helicopter? Let's have a look. What noise does a helicopter make? Meow. I think it goes.
I can't find a laptop though. Yeah.
You're very cute. You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Do you know that? Pretty.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, you. Let me know when you're ready to go to bed, alright?
Okay.
I don't know why you're dictating your bedtime, but apparently that's how things work now. Maintenance Mondays, Mr. Moo, as if you remember that. How long ago was that? I did a video, didn't I? I think I might have called it Maintenance Mondays, actually. That's funny that you remember. This one. 10 months ago, as if you've referenced that long-term channel viewer. %, would want to see the service along with any other checks. I'll do it. Sorry, Kevin. Naming equipment merch makes an everyday object unique. Oh, I see what you're saying. So if you have like, if your if your company or your brand is selling like a nozzle, and it's a good nozzle, and you call it like the Nimbus Nozzle 3000 or something, give it like a name. Where did I see that the other day? They give everything a name. It's Apple. MKBHD's video on Apple branding and Apple Apple naming of all of their software and their products. Instead of just being called I need to find an example now. This is made up, but instead of being called like image stabilization on their phone cameras, it'll be called something like True Motion. So it's not compared to other stuff that's already been out for years. So you can say, well, Android have had image stabilization for 3 years, but they call it True Motion instead. So it's like their version of it. So it can't be compared necessarily. Yeah, I'll bear that in mind then, guys. If you want to see a service, I can do that. What sort of merch would you guys potentially be interested in? Is it just like t-shirts and hats? I think those are the main ones that I'd want to sell. T-shirts and hats. Maybe a mug. Everyone does a mug, don't they? There's that pesky spring. Nuisance. I'm glad I've got rid of that now. Spick and Span, welcome back, mate. Spick and Span is a paid member of the channel. He's a member. I need to ask you a question, Spick and Span. As part of your role of being a member, you're entitled to perks on the channel. What would you like those perks to be? Would you like to see behind the scenes content? Would you like to see pictures? Would you like to see community posts? I've no idea which direction to take it. And obviously you want something in return for your, I think it's £5 a month. Is it £6 a month? I can't remember what I set it as. The first thing on the list is that little badge next to your name. I'm going to make some custom ones. I actually did this for Twitch a while ago when I was streaming on Twitch. Twitch badges, look, I drew all these myself. Little hats for everyone. A couple of little peasant hats. And then a crown. I thought they were quite cute. But I need something like more related to this channel, don't I? You're on your 2nd month badge now. Has anyone got any ideas for badges? Because I think you need to submit them in like 3 different sizes so it works in the chat. I could have a go at making some more. Yeah, Mr. Moo, it's got to be orange, doesn't it, really? Orange goggles. Hi, girlie.
This one for me.
Put it on?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, it's quite difficult, isn't it?
It's this.
I got it. Good girl. Are you putting it back?
Yeah.
Are you going to put all the men back in it? You're not going to tidy up? You're just going to get rid of it?
Yeah, then my pipe was shooting.
Oh, okay. Do you need a wee?
No.
You're dancing a little bit. Sure you don't need a wee? You can go for one if you want to. Maybe a little lance as another. Could have like an S in an orange circle for month 1. Ooh, I like the S in a circle. Ooh, that sounds good actually. Some community posts maybe discuss certain things with you and other members. Maybe a little lance as another. How about personal like priority replies, so that I sort of commit to reply to your comments. So rather than, because I get hundreds of DMs, it's very difficult to reply to everyone, and there's people asking me very specific questions about equipment, starting businesses and all that sort of stuff, and I've now got a generic I'll paste it into the chat actually. I've got a reply to all these people that reach out and ask me questions, because I literally just don't have time to reply to them, which I'm really sad about. Put it back on again? Yeah, last time, okay? Can I paste it in the chat? This is a bad video to have on in the background. So if you wanted to like post in my community chat, and then I like commit to like replying to you as best that I can, you know what I mean? Instead of DMing me and me potentially not replying. It's too long to post in the chat, sorry guys. Damn it. See if I can show you on my TikTok. Here we go. Come on. There we go. So this is one of the many TikTok messages I get. So all these are people asking for like advice and stuff, and I've got loads more in my requests, and so I just send that. Do I need to change it? Like, is that reasonable? Does that sound okay? But I could offer sort of one-on-one, if you become a member of the channel, rather than having to wait every Monday to sort of ask you questions and stuff. And I'm not an expert, but I do my best to answer. Maybe you can just post a question in the community chat on YouTube, and you'll get an answer within a day or whatever. It's like DMing me. You might as well be DMing me. Get like priority. I don't know. How'd you come up with the name Smelt? Yeah, it's my surname. Community posts maybe discuss certain things with you and other members. Thing is, we've only got 2 members of the channel at the moment, Batman and Spick and Span, which is fine. Like, I'm not asking for more. It just seems I suppose it'd be nice to have things set up if other people did choose to join the channel. Be nice for them to see like a load of previous posts that they can read through and stuff. I was thinking about doing like tutorials. I had a Patreon set up. Like, I know I'm talking a lot about money and like trying to earn money, but I'm, you know, as well as trying to help people, I am trying to expand my passive income streams. And I've done a lot of work on my Patreon, where I've written massive articles in depth about how to do certain things and how to approach certain tasks in pressure washing, but I've just not made it live because I'm just scared. I don't know what I'm scared of. I'm just not I don't like asking people for money, but I suppose when I'm spending this much time on videos and content and stuff, I might just find that people are happy to sign up to like a Patreon and stuff. I don't want to sound desperate, because I'm not, but at the same time it'd be nice to get a bit in return. I don't know, it's a weird subject. Batman, you think it'd be a good idea about the members chat? Whatever happened to the bulging hose? Did you take it back? No, I'm still using it. I should have took it back, but it's not caused any problems. I think it leaks. It's like a pinprick leak ever so slightly, because that bulge has popped now, but it's still fine. It's weird. Liam asks, sorry I missed your question. I just watched your oil removal block paving video. Was that Nuclear Pro you put on with the water-fed pole or another chemical? So that was Hypo mixed with Pure Seal. So you're talking about the video that I posted today, which is this one. So at the end here, where I'm applying the chemicals, this is before I bought my X-Jet, so this was recorded like a couple of weeks ago. And I'm applying chemicals through a gardener backpack, water-fed pole, and this is just standard Hypo. So I've not bought the Hypo from Pure Seal, although I did used to buy their Nuclear Pro, and I thoroughly recommend the Nuclear Pro. It's already mixed, you don't have to do anything with it. You could just literally dilute it with water and away you go. It's got all the surfactants in it, but I'm always trying to maximize the profits on the job, and so if I can buy cheaper Hypo, and then what I do is add Pure Seal's Surf Boost, which is a surfactant that you can just add to Hypo. It's 5 litres of that, You only need like 500 ml in a 25 litre tub. So if you pour 500 ml of that in a 25 litre tub, that will be sufficient apparently to foam it, although I think I use slightly more. 5 litres of that, £17.50. I get my hypo now for about 27 quid, which has come down a lot in price, which is really good. So I can either buy one of these and then a barrel of hypo for roughly the price of Nuclear Pro, which is basically pre-mixed. $20 litres as well, not 25. It's 48 quid. I think it's still well worth it if you want to save the hassle of mixing it yourself. It foams up nicely. It's a good product. I'm just doing it slightly cheaper, that's all. Only very slightly cheaper, a couple of quid. They've just announced a new version of Nuclear Pro, which is called Nuclear Fallout, I think. I can't remember. Yeah. Where's Mummy? She's gone swimming, girlie. She's gone on her own, yeah? Because she's going for exercise now. That's what Mummy started doing now. She's exercising. Trying to get that beach bod for her holiday.
Mom, may I go swimming with Mummy Sunday?
Next time, you can go with Mummy, yeah? Alright. Are you going to go to sleep now? No. Okay. You're the boss. You're two, but you're the boss. Oh, you're not the boss? Who's the boss?
You.
Me? Good job. Sorry, let me catch up with all your questions. Also, did you use Synergy neat or mixed with water? I used it like 50-50, but you can use it neat, I think. It says to like dilute it 1 to 10 or even 1 to 20 if it's not that bad, but because I was using it on oil, I did it like 50-50. Why not set up a WhatsApp group dedicated to paid members, then it's personal and share within that group? Ooh, Charlie, that is a fantastic idea. A personal WhatsApp group for paid members of the channel. Spick and Span, what do you think of that? Batman, what do you reckon? You get my personal number. I mean, you can find my personal number anywhere, to be fair, but I'll actually reply to you. Members group. Smout Circle. Smout Special People. How about that? Where is the best place to buy your equipment in your opinion? JJC, I would not recommend my machine at the moment, just because I've had so many problems with it. I would recommend going to a reputable supplier that sell high quality machines. You're going to pay a bit more. Look, let me just show you. Equip to Clean is where I bought my main machine from, my first proper machine. Would I still recommend this machine? So this is what I got, and that is a fantastic price for a 15 litre per minute Lincoln powered pressure washer. Is it Lincoln? Let me just make sure I've got that right. Lincoln 14 horsepower, so it's a good engine. I think the weak point is I don't know anything about. Spick and Span donated 6, is that euros? Through Super Chat. Love the WhatsApp idea, nice. I'll get on that. Let's figure that out then, because I'd like that. What a fantastic idea. Was that Charlie who came up with that? Charlie, you are full of fantastic information. So I've had issues with the pump and the gearbox and the unloader on this machine. I've had a leak from between the pump and the gearbox. I've had an oil leak. I've also had multiple spring failures in the unloader. Yeah.
I have that.
Oh, that's a bit heavy, girly. Not that one, no.
Where is it heavy?
It just is. You can have something else. Wouldn't you have that one? Oh, that's sparkly. But then again, if you're on a budget and you've got 900 quid or 975 quid, it'll get you going, and mine's lasted me a year. Spick and Span, I want to thank you again for the donation. That's very, very kind. That's the second donation that you've made to the channel, and you're a channel member, so thank you. Really do appreciate it. I don't want to breeze past it like it's nothing. So I've fixed this machine multiple times, but it's still put in so many hours, and so for the price, I think it was a good investment, really. The only issue I've got is that because it's broken so many times, it's also taken some of my other equipment out with it. It's taken multiple turbo nozzles out with it, where it's jammed them because of disintegrated pieces of spring that's come from the unloader valve, and it's blocked my nozzles. And I've had to take it over to pressure washer sales and service to get my surface cleaner serviced and get the nozzles replaced. All sorts of stuff. This has cost me a lot of money, but it's also made me a lot of money over the last 12 months. I've had it almost, I think I've had it a year now, maybe more. So I think I'd recommend this machine. It's just this is the weak point in my experience. And now that they're offering Honda pressure washers, that's great too, but you've still got the same pump and the same unloader, so I don't know what to say. If I had an initial investment, I'd get something like this. If I had like maybe not the Bambino, that's the small one, Alpha A2, one of these. If I could do it again and add a bit of money to spend, the turbo pack, 1800 quid plus VAT, that's probably what I'd do. Or you could go to Gutter Vacuum Systems. They've just introduced their, is it Tornado? They're now selling pressure washers, and they've just done a 21 litre per minute version. Tsunami. 1700 quid including VAT. So this one's a lot cheaper than the other one I just showed you. Does it have all the turbo stuff? It's got a single lance, 10 metre of hose, so it's probably no turbo hose, turbo nozzle, but that's essentially a very similar machine. Interpump. It's got the stuff on it that you want, really. What's your direction in buying your next machine? Sorry, before I answer your question, Luke, let me just go back up a little bit because I've missed quite a lot here. Would it be worth sharing your Patreon content on the members section? Yeah, I feel like I'm spreading it across too many platforms though. I feel like I should either have YouTube or Patreon, because I'm going to be spending too much time uploading stuff to both. I think I should probably stick to YouTube, I don't know. Not sure if you can write like blog posts on YouTube for your members. I can do community posts and set it to like members only can see this. Jake, you're offering a service and knowledge. Money makes the world go round. You have a life and a family. I respect the hustle. Thanks, Luke. Bro, for everything I've learned from you, I will definitely be signing up next week, I promise. Mr. Moo, you don't have to make any promises like that. I'm not asking for money. I'm very grateful that people are sat here watching my live streams and watching my videos. Like, that's all I want. I just want to give people options, like if they want to buy merch, if they want to become paid members, if they want to send donations and stuff. It'd be nice to give people options, but I want to make it worth their while. I don't just want to give them nothing in return. It's all well and good putting like a donation button there. I suppose I am giving something in return in trying to go through all these questions and try and answer them honestly and stuff, but it'd be nice to have little perks, wouldn't it? That's all it is, just little perks. Spick and span, agree with Luke. Thank you. How many litres would you use on a standard driveway of the Nuclear Pro from a 20 litre tub? Well, you're diluting it about 5 to 1 with water. On that driveway, it's probably easier finding it in here because I literally just edited this video. So on this driveway, I probably use 10 litres, maybe less. And surprisingly, now I'm using the X-Jet as well. Now that I've got it on like the setting that I want, and I'm going through it quite quick. Like I've got the nozzle set to where I want it. I've got the machine revs turned down, and I'm putting the product exactly where I want it. I've actually not even gone through a whole tub yet. I've done 3 fairly decently sized jobs, with 1 barrel of hypo so far, 25 litres of hypo, and I'm not even all the way through it yet. I expected to pretty much use a whole tub on 1 job just because of the rate that it's coming out, but it's actually going a lot further than I expected. Now that I've got it set, now that I'm not messing around with it. Actually 4 jobs, I've done 4 jobs with it, and I'm still not all the way through a whole barrel. Most people are most people are watching because they have similar mindset and are looking for a business advice from someone who has been there and done that. No one is going to care if you're making money from it. Spec, thank you. Thanks for your insight. Again, like I still wouldn't necessarily call myself like a professional in the industry because I've only been doing it for 2 years, but I have learnt a lot, and what I have learnt I can try and pass on. So I'm happy that people are learning stuff. Could you pour oil on a slab and see how you clean it? See how clean you can make it in 5 minutes. Kevin, that's a good idea. The thing with oil, it's a tricky one because when you're going to quote a job like this on screen now, it's always important to ask how long has the oil been down for, because that will factor into how likely you are of getting it up. And if it's been down for years, and maybe they've attempted to clean it in the past themselves and been unsuccessful, you're going to be a lot less likely to get it up. And also steam helps if you've got access to hot water. You right, girl?
Yeah.
What are you up to? Okay. You gonna tidy up? Good girl. I'm gonna come put you to bed in a minute, alright? WhatsApp is a great idea, maybe a Discord server or something. I could do a Discord server, but I don't spend much time on Discord. I'm only playing Discord. I'm only on Discord when I'm playing games with my friends. Play a bit of Daisy with Callum occasionally. Other than that, I don't log into Discord. Although Discord you can get on your phone, so it might be I think I'd prefer WhatsApp. And what happens? What's your opinion on someone who becomes a member of the channel, gets access to the WhatsApp group, and then doesn't renew the subscription? Do they get exiled from the WhatsApp group? I'd feel so bad. Or once you become a member, you're always part of the WhatsApp group. And is that sustainable? What if it gets to the point where I've got like 500 members and they're all asking questions daily? I don't know. Is that sustainable? Maybe while it's small we could do that. Flow rate of 15 litres per minute versus 21 litres per minute. Is it significant how quick is it significant in how quick a job could be worth the extra? Apparently yes. I have no experience with a machine that is 21 litres per minute, but apparently I was speaking to Squeaky Clean Dave last week and he said there was a massive jump when he went from 15 to 21. Massive jump. I went from 12 to 15 and that was huge. And I couldn't imagine something any more powerful than what I've got at the minute. Oh, well done. Is that all of it?
Yeah.
Good job. Great tidying, Gertie. I couldn't imagine anything more powerful than what I'm running at the moment. I mean, the kickback, when you pull the trigger, the kickback is crazy. So it's I'm excited to upgrade. I will upgrade at some point, but again, I'm tight. I'm not ready to pull the trigger yet. Do you want to take yourself to bed? Nope. What do you say to that? Ride Clean Details. How you doing, mate? I'm very well. I got the P1 PE petrol from Hyundai and I've used it a few times. It gets very hot. I'm just lacking drawing water as I use a flexi bucket at the moment. 15 meter pressure hose. Where do you get hoses? I would like a buffer tank in the van and leave the machine in the van, but I don't know if all my stuff will fit. So if you've not got room for a buffer tank, I mean, I'll show you my van. You might have already seen it on the channel, but my van's not big and I've just made it work. This is my van and I've got a, like on a normal day, what am I watching? On a normal day I'll have the 250 litre buffer tank, the pressure washer with the handle removed off of the frame, the gutter vacuum, the generator, the 50 metre hose reel, toolbox, hose, all that is inside the back of the van. And then I've got a roof box for things like gutter poles. I've got my ladder on the side, I've got a shovel and spade and broom, and so you might be surprised at how much you can actually fit in there. This video is quite a good, I mean it's old, the video is 10 months old and stuff has changed since then, but it's near enough the same. I recently got my hose from PWS, Precious Pressure Washers in Stafford. I got 40 meters because I've got a 10 meter extension as well. And it looks like good quality hose, I'm very happy with it. If you can get to a point where you can leave the pressure washer in the van and you've got like a mounted reel in your van, and that is the only thing you have to pull out of your van, is the you know, the ball valve or the end of the reel, the end of the hose, it's a massive change to how quickly you can get in and out of the property. Gonna rewatch tomorrow Working Regular Job full-time plus pressure cleaning startup. After Hours is making me sleep like a baby every night. Good night, Jake and the rest. Spick and Span, thanks for popping in, thanks for your donation, and keep grinding, mate. It'll pay off in the end. You'll get to a point where you can leave that full-time job and just do your pressure washing, and promise you, keep grinding, you'll get there. When I don't bail on him, what are you talking about, Callum? Of course they get exiled. I don't pay my gas and electric. Guess what? It's getting turned off just like their subscription. That's brutal. Absolutely ruthless. Started with 21 litres per minute. GX 390. First time I used it, I left it on full revs and nearly bust my wrist. You have to be cautious with them, yeah, I can imagine. Treat it like a shotgun first few times, otherwise you're throwing a hit. I watched someone with a 30 litre per minute machine cleaning out some you know, like animal, like a cow, what do cows live in? Barn? Like a barn? Like a concrete barn. And he was literally leaning forward. His body was like leant like that while he was pressure washing a wall because it was pushing him back up. 30 litres per minute, it was insane. Gonna shoot to bed, mate. Doing Milton Keynes and Peterborough tomorrow. Oh, you're talking about Daisy? Oh, that's all good, mate. Alright, night. Have a good night, Cal. Text me in the morning. Hope you have a good day at work. There's not a lot else that I really had to talk about. We were going to do a quote on stream for those bins, but I think we've discovered that you need all sorts of special licenses and stuff to be able to dispose of bin waste or bin water after you've washed them. So I'm not going to be able to do this. So I'll get back to that person soon. Has anyone got anything they want to quickly talk about before I head off? Or are we good? Are we good to leave it there? See you, Cal. I wondered where you were, you cheeky monkey. Once again, if you're enjoying the content, you can click this button here to join the channel. You can become a paid member of the channel. So far we've got Batman and Spick and Span. They are the 2 channel members. Why was the quote rejected from last week? I guess it was just more money than what she wanted to spend. She said she's not. She'll definitely get me back in the future, but it's something she's gonna have to save up for. She did. She asked for the whole package. She wanted the rear patio cleaning, driveway cleaning, sanding, and sealing. If you take away the sealing, you might get a more reasonable quote, but you know. Jake says, "Hi pal, was on my second job on Wednesday and a hydraulic hose burst. Wilkes, USA, oh my gosh. I bet that was scary." So, so this is the pressure washer that, this one here. This is what, Partridge started out with, I think, and a lot of guys first starting will go for something like this. How many litres per minute is it? I don't know. The one I went for was the Parker brand one. This one, absolute bargain. To just get started. It's only small, not very powerful, but pair that with a little turbo nozzle. Absolute bargain. Best place to buy hypo. If you're just starting out, I'd recommend Pure Seal. You can get Nuclear Pro from Pure Seal. It's pre-mixed, it's got all the surfactants, the wetting agents, the scent mask. This one here. That's what I'd recommend if you've not used hypo before. Be very careful with it if you're using it for the first time. It's dangerous stuff. Don't get it on your skin. Don't get it in your eyes. Don't get it on the grass. Don't get it on the plants. Make sure that any surface that you're going to use this with, you've researched to find that it's not going to react badly with the surface, because it can get you in a lot of trouble if you use it wrong. Oh, you got the Wilks as well? Sounds like a bag of spanners on there. I got mine for 300 quid, 11 litres per minute, nice. It's about the same as mine, my first one. Where'd you get your high pressure hose, and does it tangle up at all? So I got mine from PWS. The Alpha HP hose, this is what I got. I went for, you did say high pressure hose, didn't you? Yeah. I went for 40 meters, 2-wire hose, 150 quid plus VAT. Very good hose so far. I've only been using it a couple of months.
You could toys under there.
I think we're gonna go to bed in a minute, alright? I know. Although I think with the Wilks one, that's got a thinner hose, probably. This is like a 3/4 inch hose, I think. 3/8 inch. Thanks, girl. So if you've not got if you've got like a lower power machine, you don't need a hose like this. You can probably go for a cheaper one. Did the job till it burst, waiting on a replacement. Have since upgraded to something from PWS. Yeah. Nice. Right, I'm going to end it there, guys. I really appreciate everyone watching. Thank you so much. It's so hot in here. I'm baking. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And just watch my videos. I've got lots of videos on my channel, especially some of the early ones that are dedicated to people that are just getting started in the industry. I think there's some decent information on there. Quitting my full-time job, my quoting strategy, which is still the same now, how to edit your before and after pictures to make them look more impressive, plumbing my water tank. There's all sorts on there, so have a look, comment, like them, engage with it. That's how it gets pushed to other people. Awesome, George. Thank you guys for watching. Have a fantastic evening. I will see you this time next week. 7:30 is when the stream starts, and then usually I upload a video at 5:30 on Mondays. So 5:30, new video comes out. 7:30 we go live. I was a bit late with the upload this week because I ran out of time, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Have a lovely evening. See you later. Bye.
Hope the best for myself. Hope the best for myself. Won't give up.